Hey guys, Cloud VP here, and welcome back to Autumn's Journey. It's been a little bit of a time since we played this last, but if I remember correctly, we met Mari, the water dragon, who everyone says looks like a girl, and I completely understand. I thought he was a girl too, until I read like the bio for these characters while I was downloading it, and I realized he was a boy. So if you thought he was a girl, don't worry about it. I did too. He totally looks like a girl, which is like this kind of weird thing because I know like anime characters, they're usually like, oh, is that a guy or a girl? I don't know. I can't tell, but normally you don't get it that wrong. It's usually kind of easy to tell, but in this type, Mari, no. Maybe it's because he's like a water dragon, so he's like special or something, so that's maybe why we couldn't figure it out. So, I don't know. Anyway, so we just met Amari, and we have Kerr with us, and we're gonna go, I believe, meet the mother of the main girl. I don't really remember her name entirely. And just a quick thing, guys, I was looking all over the house for this last week. I don't know if you could see it, but I have a little Witcher's necklace that I could not find for the life of me, and I finally found it, and I've been like super happy. So I'm just wearing that. Makes me really happy. That has nothing to do with this game, but I just wanted to say it because gosh darn it, I can. Anyway, here we go. With something, we quickened our pace before Kerr could yell at us to hurry. Because I don't remember what we were supposed to do. Whatever. I wonder how they'll react to entering a Heavenkind town. Oh, okay. Yeah, like I said, we're going to the town, which is what I thought we were going to be doing. So, we are going to the town today. It's exciting. Ooh, exciting. Chapter 3, Barry, the town, whose name is Barry. Like a berry, but not spelled like a berry, because that would be too obvious. We arrived late afternoon. Barry was a small farming country nestled by the riverbank, perfectly situated between larger cities. It had at least 36 houses, many with their own farmland and sprawling orchards beyond the river. Of course, it also had an inn for travelers, which was becoming more popular thanks to the improved roads. Oh, his eyes are so sparkly! Amari seemed thrilled, gasping over every little thing while his eyes excitedly darted from one house to the next. Kerr simply rolled his eyes and remained withdrawn as we walked over to my family's house. They're so cute. I love these characters like so much. I'm gonna probably look at like fan art or something for this after this. Anyway, I admit I was concerned. Their ears weren't exactly natural, and Mari's hair color was striking even from a distance. There were a few people who passed and gave curious glances, but they relaxed when they saw that I wasn't accompanying the boys. You know everyone in Barry, especially if you lived here for most of your life. When we reached my house, I motioned over Amari and Kerr. Can you two wait here for a bit? I need to talk to my parents first. I can't just invite strangers in. Is it some form of Heavenkind formality? I don't remember his voice. Sorry, guys. Yeah, formality. Something like that. That's why it's important for you two not to wander off. Right. Acorn. I mean it. I opened the door and closed it behind me, stepping into the cozy room. Mom? Dad? I hope they didn't leave to search for me. That would be partially my fault. Aura? Mom? Her mom's pretty. I like that braid. I wish I could do my hair like that. That'd be cool. But whatever. Anyway, I was embraced in a tight hug. My mother worryingly checked my face before stepping back. Where were you? Your dad got all anxious, and I kept telling him you would be alright, but when night came... I'm fine. The reason why my scouting took so long was because I bumped into 2 travelers. She pursed her lips and tapped her chin. They're not amnesiac? Nope. Any mythical-looking pendants on them? They have some simple jewelry, but no pendants. Dark and mysterious pasts? I'm pretty sure not. One is a spoiled brat, and the other seems like he would be the youngest of a dozen siblings. She sighed of relief. Good. I've had too many troublesome experiences with people like that. Let them into a village, and the next instant it's on fire. That's my girl. Always thinking of everything. Where's Dad? I'm starving. She laughed at my carefree comment. He should be back soon. She leaned to one side, looking past me. You can let your friends in if you'd like. I turned to see Mari gingerly tapping the glass, then putting his hands all over it in bafflement. He looked like a performing mime. What is this brilliant substance? You could see beyond it, but there's a barrier. Not from around here? You could say that. Once we sat down at the table, Kerr was content leaning against the wall being sullen. I quickly explained the situation. I left out the punishment since I had a feeling Kerr would get embarrassed. Here in the first place, they'll be observing our customs and looking over some of the altars we built. That sounds wonderful. I know there's been more interaction between both races lately, but I'm out of the loop now. Mom used to be captain of the guard for the city of Oliver, but had long since retired. She kept busy performing various protection services for travelers and merchants, patrolling Barry, and even teaching sword fighting. We were hoping to leave first thing in the morning. And walk the whole way? I glanced at Kerr and Nimari. I could always swim, but it's been harder to navigate in this river recently. A lot of Heavenkind activity. None of us fly. I guess we could always hire a coachman. Actually, there's a small group of merchants heading for Oliver, and they won't leave until tomorrow afternoon. I had initially offered my services, but if you think you can handle it... You mean it? Yay, our first real job! Woot! I can arrange it right now. Up for the challenge. It'll be your first real job outside of Barry without me. Of course, I'll protect him to the best of my ability. She laughed at my enthusiasm and excused herself, letting the males know that they were welcome to stay overnight. I grinned and pumped a fist into the air. I feel like this is my first step in real knighthood. A knighthood? Well, probably more like a mercenary. You get hired to protect people and make sure they arrive at their destination safely. That's a good thing. That way we can get to Oliver and earn a little money. However, if I could ask my mom something later, then I'd really be a knight. I could have left for Oliver at any time, but I needed something important first. I was probably grinning like an idiot, but I didn't care. When I heard the door open, I knew it was my dad and immediately jumped up. Mom was likely on her patrols again and probably wouldn't be back for a while. You two are probably hungry. Is there anything you'd like to eat? Well, I'm open to anything. I've never tried any Heavenkind food before. Well, we'll try our best to make you something you like, Mari. Kerr? Acorn. He was pondering at first, and then reluctantly looked up. Yes? The one that had the apple slices on it. Oh, apple tarts. Of course. Pastries are pretty much my dad's specialty. He'll make some for you. The smallest of smiles appears on Kerr's face, but quickly vanished. Oh, look how cute he's smiling. Oh, he's so bashful. It's adorable, really. They're both really cute. Bangs. At least there was something Heavenkind related that he enjoyed. Our meal was pleasant, and I was surprised that my dad even got Kerr to say more than a few lines. My dad always had a way of winning people over through his cooking. Mari found our eating traditions extremely complicated, with what with all the dishes and utensils used, but kept getting drawn to the windows again. If I ever let him loose in a stained glass church, I snorted behind my cup thinking about it. When Mom returned, I pulled her away from the group for a private chat. Is it all arranged? So I'll be able to guard the carriage tomorrow? Yes. Then, since I'm going to Oliver anyway, can you write a letter recommending me for knighthood? In Oliver, there was a special guild for knights. People trained by revered knights could be endorsed to serve under the Sun and Moon Council. That's a cool name for a council, Sun and Moon Council. Yep. If I was going to Oliver now, this would be the perfect opportunity to join them. With Mom's name, they would not refuse me. If anything, they'd usher me in with open arms. My mom sighed and rubbed her forehead, already tired of the persistent conversation. Honestly, Aura, I still don't think you're ready and mature enough to. I'm ready. Not only that, I could help Kerr, the Dragonkind, better. Please? She chuckled weakly, but I could tell she was still firm in her decision. Look, I'll think about it. For now, you can assist Kerr and Mari just fine without the rank. I gave her a petulant look, but gave in. All right, I'm glad you're at least considering it. Thanks, Mom. I returned with the others who were finishing up their meal. As I gathered the dishes, Dad glanced towards the stairs. Will you be spending the night here? Hold on, moving that over. Acorn. You've already done so much for us. We would also prefer more spacious places, so we'll be fine outside. Are you sure? Do you see us living in these things? Not really. We still have some time before it gets dark. I can show you around the town if you'd like. Mari brightened immensely while Kerr sighed. I'll go. Pass. Weren't you ordered to learn more about the Heavenkind? You could just summarize it for me. I'm more about finding the altars. Which locations? Oh, sorry. Which are locations you visit after you learn. Like, let sleeping dragons lie, Mari. You can have fun without Crabapple sulking along. I grabbed Mari's hand and led him outside, deciding to show off the orchards the town specializes in. As we walked down the road, we passed a farmhouse where 4 children were running around playing tag. When one spotted us, he waved, and the other 3 eagerly scampered towards us. Aura, come play! Another time chase. The youngest sibling crept forward and gazed up at Mari curiously. Your ears are funny. Is that a bad thing? Not at all. They're really cute, don't you think, Heather? She giggled. They look like butterflies. That's cute. They do kind of look like butterflies. Anyway, the children prodded at Mari and ran around him until their mother called them back. Although I did not expect that, Mari seemed to have enjoyed himself. How sweet. They're all siblings, so they play together a lot. He blinked blankly before gasping. Siblings? They're all related? Yeah, it's not uncommon to have large families here, although I'm an only child myself. What about you? I guess you were like, the youngest of a dozen? He gave a sheepish chuckle. No, I'm an only child too. It's extremely rare for dragonkind to have siblings. I don't think I've met one that had more than 2. He tilted his head, then glanced at me hesitantly as if pondering something. Then for mating season, is it... Alarm bells went off in my head, and I made a giant cross with my arms to dissuade him. Oh no, banned. I'm banning the subject. As if I could accurately answer those types of questions anyway. If you don't ask, I won't ask how it works between dragons. Ah, right, I agree. He appeared so awkward that I couldn't help but laugh. Soon we were chuckling over our quick conversation. All right, let's keep going. I could show you around one of the farms. Okay. One of the barns was open. It actually belonged to an old friend of my family. I casually strolled in, pointing to various equipment. Mari gestured to a device in the corner. What does it do? Oh, it's churn. You use it to, well, churn milk or cream into butter. Cream? Butter? Here, I'll demonstrate. Pretending, of course. I approached the cylindrical wooden tub and touched the stave. Basically, you plunge this up and down, and it'll shake the liquid and eventually turn it into a solid. Milk, cream, and butter are all types of food. As I explained, the house owner entered, carrying 2 buckets filled to the brim with something. Hi, Bryony. Bryony? Bryony? I don't know if that's his name or not. Close enough, I guess. I saw you showing your friend around, and I thought you'd like to demonstrate the real thing. With a wry smile, oh, it's a female apparently, I'm sorry, I thought she was a man. She set the buckets down. I stared at them expressionlessly. I wasn't planning on staying. I want to see it. Between Mari's persistence and my inability to decline a request from my mom's friend, I gave in. Right. I'll show you, Mari. Then afterwards, you can show him how to milk cows. Acorn. Man, her friend's like really gonna get her to do the chores, huh? Fine, I'll do it all. I wasn't sure how, but I got roped into chores while showing Mari around. His questions were endless, and he seemed to be enjoying every minute of it. Whenever I offered for him to take over, he'd shake his head and say he'd probably mess up. I had the feeling he was just saying that. At least he loved the apple orchard when I was finally able to guide him there. It was late evening when we returned, and I was rolling my aching shoulder. Even my calluses have calluses. I haven't done farm stuff in years. I'm surprised I remembered it all. I had been more focused on my sword training and patrolling duties as of late. But did you have fun, Mari? He grinned He grinned brightly, like a child who had just left the sweet shop with a pocket full of cookies. I did. I thought it was really interesting. I don't know if you'd call it interesting, but I guess I've been here so long that it's all routine to me. If I was a knight, I could do more things. Nothing. I'm merely thinking out loud. You sure do have a lot of questions regarding Heavenkind. Sorry about that. I naturally love learning about new things. In return, if you have any question about Dragonkind, I'd be happy to answer. He stopped and shyly fidgeted with his hands, and I could tell he was anticipating an inquiry. Ask how he knows your language, or confess you want to touch his ears. Okay, I would love to touch his ears, honestly, but I don't know if that's the best thing to ask her. So I'd actually think it'd be better to ask how he knows your language. But I really want to touch his ears. I think it's too soon to ask to touch his ears, because we just kind of like met. I feel like that would be kind of more of an intimate touch, and I don't think I'm quite there yet. Though it'd be cute to see Mari flustered. I'm gonna go with the logical answer and go ask how he knows your language. Click. You speak our language pretty fluently. Did you learn it? Yes. From what I know, Kerr was pretty much forced to. Well, I learned on my own. What about your own? What was it like? We communicate audibly, of course, but we also use telepathy. What's that exactly? It's sort of like projecting one thoughts to another person. Of course, you need to wish for the person to pick up those thoughts. Dragonkind don't normally live in close proximity, to another, so it's useful to us. That sounds pretty neat. What are you thinking now, if you could project it to me? About how much fun I had? Thank you so much for showing me around, Barry. Hey, it was no problem. Anyway, I muffled a yawn. I should get to bed now. We have a busy day ahead of us. Night, Arlie. Thanks so much for everything. It's fine. I had fun too, even if I got dragged halfway across Barry to do odd chores. Once I opened the door to my house, I spotted my mom sitting at the table, holding a quill over some blank parchment. I covered my mouth to muffle a squeal. You're doing it? You're writing the letter? I bounced on my heels and launched into a tackle as I hugged my mom from behind. I peered over her shoulders. You're actually going to do it? You're actually going to do it! I'm going to be a knight! I halted and let go, suddenly confused. Wait, what made you change your mind? My mom laughed and leaned back, flashing me a meaningful smile. Well, I did some thinking, and I thought maybe you were right. You are ready. That's what I've been telling you. My smile was so wide it hurt. Thanks, Mom. I love you and good night. I look forward to reading it in the morning. I dashed upstairs, determined to fall asleep. However, I couldn't help but toss and turn as I replayed the day's events. And not only Amari's questions, but that I was going to become a knight once I arrived in Oliver. The task to protect the carriage would be viewed as my first duty as a knight. My first real mission. I certainly couldn't sleep now. Eee! So exciting. I hugged my pillow and rolled around, unable to stop my giddiness. I'm going to be a professional knight. Do professional knights normally act like this? I don't care, I'm so happy. To achieve the title of knight, one usually had to be trained at a famous school or academy and graduate from there. Since I did not live in a big city and had such establishments, I trained solely under my mom instead, and her status and achievements were well known, which was why I needed that letter badly. If she recommended me, other captains or noblemen would probably hire me, and I would serve the Sun and Moon Council, and I'd be able to see more of Ishtera outside of Barry, as a real knight. Unable to remain still, I hopped out of bed and paced restlessly. I approached the window, not sure what I was expecting. How are those two doing anyway? It's not like Kerr can transform back and sleep how he always does. I wonder if I can find them and check on them quickly. Snatching the blanket off of bed, I wrapped it around my shoulders like an oversized shawl. Then I strapped my belt and my scabbard and walked out the door. Outside, it was comfortably cool, and I found the sound of crickets and frogs soothing as I walked beside the river. I guess I was subconsciously anticipating to find Mari sleeping on the bank or underwater. On a whim, I entered the apple orchard. I spotted Mari sitting against one of the tree trunks. His ears instantly perked up, although I had the feeling he had heard me approaching earlier. You can't sleep? Something like that. I sat down next to him. He poked at the grass in front of him dejectedly. Kerr wouldn't bond with me. Huh? Bond? Dragons bond by nestling together. I thought since we were going to be traveling companions, despite our differences. He hated the idea, though. Kerr doesn't seem like being touched in general. Kerr doesn't seem to like being touched in general. I can't imagine. He stared at me hopefully. He stopped and tucked his knees up, his arms resting around his legs. What about you? I mean, is it different between Heavenkind? I scrambled to formulate an answer. Well, cuddling is something between family and loved ones. Hugs are more acceptable between friends. What did I know? My mind was full of knighthood dreams and sword skills. I was in no way was I the most authoritative representative regarding Heavenkind relationships. Hug? You put your arms around someone and hold them close. I mimed the action using my blanket. He nodded in understanding. Then I guess you wouldn't, Kerr is so cute! I mean, not Kerr. Mari is super cute, wrong name. I'm totally gonna accept because he's so cute and he's so sad that Kerr doesn't want to be dragon buddies with him. He's like, tear him all alone. Poor Mari. I will totally accept that. Declining Mari would be like rejecting a basket full of kittens. My thoughts exactly, well put, game. Kittens that looked up at you pleadingly. For a few minutes. I can't stay out here all night. I do need to return to my own bed. I shuffled over to him until we were shoulder to shoulder and adjusted the blanket so it draped over both of us. It's not that cold out? Not really. It feels nice. So, I forgot to ask this earlier, but why were you interested in learning about Heavenkind? Because your culture is fascinating. Huh? Everything that Heavenkind do is amazing. You can create things I've never seen before, and you could do this. He wiggled his thumbs and fingers. They're so dexterous. Dexterous? I think I said it right the first time. Sorry. I laughed and mimicked him momentarily. It's true our kinds are interacting more? I assume you've heard of it. Yes. I'd like to be sort of a mediator. I think you call it a diplomat? I've already tried to help Heavenkind before, but it didn't work out. It's harder than it looks. How so? Well, this one incident, they were willingly entering this monster's mouth, and there's nothing I could do about it. Wait, a monster? Yes, this strange one that smells of wood and floats on the water. I've never seen it before, and the Heavenkind simply entered it. It sounds like a boat. I nudged it a few times, but people seemed upset. Mari, those are boats. We use those to travel up and down the river. So, it wasn't a monster? Oh, it's poor sad face. He slumped into the blanket, mortified. I patted him on the shoulder, trying to reassure him. It's okay. Misunderstandings happen. You had good intentions. And now, you'll be able to study Heavenkind at a more personal level. I'll do my best to clarify anything you're uncertain of. In return, tell me more about Dragonkind. That seems fair. I'll try not to ask more boring questions, though. I mean, what interested me didn't seem so fun for you. I'm never churning butter again. Feeling that our conversation had reached a satisfying note, I clutched the blanket and stood up. You'll be fine by yourself? Yes, I'll see you in the morning. Playfully, I draped the blanket back over him. Even a dragon might need an extra layer of warmth in a Heavenkind body. Take care, then. Oh, there's Kerr. There he is. As I sauntered back to my house, easily guided by the bright moon, I spotted Kerr restlessly pacing by the door. Puzzled, I approached him. Need something? Mari's past the river if you're looking for him. Nothing to do with him, but thanks for the heads up, since I can avoid him easier. I would have given him a light punch to the shoulder, but I remembered he hated contact. Oh, this is me talking. Sorry, wrong voice. Mean. Play nice. He'll be traveling with you after all. I hope you don't mind being stuck with me until we reach Oliver. I think we'll have fun. I'm looking forward to it. I've noticed. I heard you squealing even from afar. My ears couldn't shut it out if I tried. Ha, I'm sorry. It's something I've always wanted to do, and now's the perfect opportunity. It's getting harder to read. Like, longer periods of time, I feel like my voice hurts. All the experiences from my freelance jobs will finally pay off, and I'll be on the road to knighthood. Let's make tomorrow's task a successful one. We're guarding that wagon so the merchant's cargo will arrive safely in Oliver. Think you can handle it? He wrinkled his nose. An escort mission? That's exactly what they are called. Not the most glamorous duty, but it is honorable. Anyway, I'm going to bed. I promise I'll stop squealing. As I was about to open the door, Kerr stepped forward. Wait, He scratched the back of his neck sheepishly, surprised by his rather modest display. I looked at him intently. Yes? About earlier, when you crammed that food into my mouth. Oh, I was joking, so don't worry about it. I'm sorry if it seemed mean-spirited. It wasn't my intention. No, you were right. Huh? Kerr seemed both shocked and offended by my reaction. What I mean to say is, you did help me. A little. A little? I gave you a walking stick, fed you, fought a giant bird, took you to the altar, got ditched, only for you to come crawling back. And I accepted you a second time. Now I'm starting to wonder why I did. I feigned contemplating, and he glanced away anxiously, as if dreading that I would refuse to help him now. I stuck out my tongue to appease him. Don't worry about it. Maybe I was right about me having immeasurable kindness. I'm grateful, but you exaggerated a bit. You're definitely not the best Heavenkind has to offer. Ew, that's a little mean. I gave him a swift kick to the back of the leg. Ow. You're right, I'm not. But I'll definitely be the best knight. Even if I lost some kindness points with that action, I'll re-earn them tomorrow. Night, Kerr. Acorn. Night. I closed the door behind me, resisting the urge to squeal about tomorrow. Next chapter! It's going to be chapter 4, To Oliver. It's also going to be the end point of this episode, guys, because... Anyway, guys, I'm going to end the episode here. I hope you all enjoyed this. I feel like we got a lot, covered and learned. We got to learn a lot of cool things about Mari and how absolutely adorable he is, as well as Kerr learning to be a little more nice about what's going on. I'm honestly pretty excited to see how her knighthood goes and this escort mission goes. Pretty sure something's going to happen, because your first mission never goes well. I'm just saying. So anyway, guys, I hope you all enjoyed this episode, and I hope to see you all at the next one. So until then, bye, everyone.